Hey folks, welcome back in another Palm Master video, and today we're going to talk about Sygna, Misty, and Vaporeon for the, 5 of you out there who summoned for her. So, she's a, awkward unit, right? She's a bit of an awkward unit, because her main thing, or her, her main, like, kit is kind of, like, not very useful. And most of her value lies, with her Sync Nuke, right? So so I guess the first thing to sort of recognize about this unit is what it's actually for, right? The mist and haze stuff, that's just like a mist, right? Like it's slightly misleading in terms of what she actually does. That is not her main thing. Her main thing is to do a lot of damage on her sync move, right? Obviously, there are situations where a mist or a haze could be useful and helpful, right? So when using Misty, a lot of times, it kind of depends on what your opponent is or what your opponent does rather than what your team or teammate needs for the most part, right? So yeah, her usage is very, very much determined by what the opponents do, right? So let's get into this. So first of all, in terms of her stats, right? She doesn't have like that great tank stats, so I don't really use her as a tank ever. She's just like a damage healer, right? For the most part. And when I say damage healer, I don't mean the water gun. it's the sync move, because there's a few things when using her you have to make sure that you do. First of all, make sure you have her 3 out of 5, or else she's really not very useful at all. Because if you don't have her 3 out of 5, like, she doesn't get anything, right? 2 out of 5 doesn't even give her anything. It's only at 3 out of 5 does she get the Sync Power Flux and the blind spot, right? I don't think she has. Yeah, no blind spot at 2 out of 5. First of all, you need her at 3 out of 5, unfortunately, at least, right? And yes, and you have to make sure you get all these. Right, because there's a few things with her kit that you need to sort of pay attention to, which is she is a sync nuker that doesn't buff her special attack or her own special attack or crit, or at least not that well. She has this, but like, don't pick this. Is not very, very good. Yeah, she doesn't buff herself that well, right? So that's, I guess, something when considering running her team comps and such. So first of all, let's talk about the lucky skill, Crit Strike 2. If you're wondering why you're not Vigilance, like I mentioned before, I don't really see her that great of a tank. Like, she does have the extra defense buffs, which are not bad, right? But like I wouldn't ever just bring her in just to be a tank for the sake of being a tank. If you're using her, you're trying to nuke with her, right? You're trying to do damage with her sync move. And obviously, when you're doing that, your sync move damage is very important, and that's why you want Crit Strike. So there's that. Anyways, in terms of 1 out of 5 grids, again, 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5 Vaporeon is borderline, like, not very useful at all, right? So at 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, you're mainly just like a mist haze bot, right? So I guess just pick up like everything that doesn't have water gun or like damage nodes if you want to save some orbs, or you could just completely ignore her grid at 1 out of 5. At 2 out of 5, you actually do have, for a mist haze bot, you do have the NPRs at least, which is nice, right? And your trainer move NPR, so there's at least that. And then you can pick up again just some more stat nodes, just depending on what you're fighting, right? The physical, special, etc. So yeah, you could do some of that. You also have water gun move gauge refresh 9 if your team is sort of, well, not sort of, just would appreciate the extra gauges there, although a lot of rain teams don't really, but that's nice. So moving on into your 3 out of 5. So here's where it gets slightly more interesting, because there's a lot of things that you want to probably pick up. Sync Power Flux, right? This one is basically like a Haymaker or Inertia, right? If you have 6 gauges, that's 2 times damage, etc., all that stuff. Obviously, it doesn't have to be at 6 gauges. You can use it at like 3 gauges and do like half of that, right? So there's a few things. First of all is team comp. Depending on our team comp, you probably want to pick up Shifty Strike 4. just so you have an extra chance of raising your evasion for the bob and weave, not bob and weave, the blind spot nuke over here, right? So you probably want to pick up that, and yeah, after that, maybe the move gauge refresh on water gun. I wouldn't bother with bob and weave. Her, like, dude, what? No, it's water gun. So yeah, there's that, and as for the rest, you go for special attack buffs. Right, you go for all these special attack buffs if you want. If you need the NPR and haze, you can do that as well, right? Instead of the going after the special attack buffs. You need the move gauge refresh on water gun, you could do that, right? So yeah, there aren't that many options for it, honestly. If you really want that shield, I guess you could do that too. Like if you want like use her like not as a nuker, which again I do not recommend as, right? I guess you could do like something like this where you get like both MP refreshes. Do we have enough for? Oh, we don't have enough for move gauge refresh on water gun. Actually, no, we do. Why am I picking up on the weave? Okay, all right, yeah, that's better, right? So you could do something like this, where you get the team smart infliction, you get shield infliction, then move gauge refresh 9 on water gun, missed all that stuff. So yeah, in terms of her, ooh, I do not want to publish anything other than this video after I'm done recording. In terms of her team comps, right? So what we could do is Misty Vaporeon, right? And then you have a range setter, whether it's Kyogre or May, right? You could do Kyogre here, and over here you need someone to buff special attack, right? So someone like a Sygna, max out her special attack and crit, Kyogre to bring in the rain. And then you nuke with Misty, right? Also Kyogre and Sabrina to actually help you do some damage when you're not nuked, because you can't completely rely on nuking, right? Since that's every 3 turns, so you definitely need someone else to give you some damage, which is why I wouldn't really recommend like Pelipper with Misty. Like if you want to run Misty, you want to either run Kyogre or May, so you could actually get some like real damage in there. Right, at least to clear the sides, right? Because like she's a really great sync nuker. Like she wouldn't have much problem clearing out the mid, but you don't want to wait like 2 more sync cycles to clear out the sides with each. You don't want to sync nuke. So yeah, again, you can swap out Kyogre for May. Obviously you can swap out Sabrina for any other special attack buffer like Sync Lisa, although she's not very super reliable. A Falconer, right? Falconer's great, or anyone else that could max max special attack and crit. I guess one you could actually do is Lily as well, right? Because I mean, you don't need the crit buff for the whole game. You just have to make sure you're like sync nukes crit, so you get the guaranteed crit from Lily, I guess. So that's nice. Also, maxes out your special attack. So yeah, I guess that's a decent one as well. Yeah, I think those are most of your options. None of the evasion buffers really also buff your crit slash. I mean, there's one that buffs your crit, but none of the evasion buffers really buff or max out both your special attack and crit at the same time. So there isn't any options there, I guess, unfortunately. So yeah, her options are slightly limited in terms of team comps, right? So anyways, that's for me this one. I guess hope you all enjoyed. You guys think in the comments down below. Like, share, this video, subscribe for some more promo content. And I'll see you guys in the next one.